Welcome to Sensational Living with Liliana. I hope you've had a great week and are really heading towards a sensational weekend. The weather's absolutely spectacular here in Orange County, so it's a great time to get your hiking shoes on and get out there and connect with nature. So great when the weather starts to be a little bit better, you see everybody getting more motivated to get in better shape. It seems at my gym we have a lot more people there, and so it's good to see that. And it reminds us that we're going to be getting out of our winter thick clothes and into clothes that are a little bit thinner and more showing. So oftentimes, many of my patients, they say that they don't even want to wear short sleeves anymore after a certain age because they're embarrassed of their arms. So I tell every woman at any age they can still have beautiful arms, but they've got to do something about it. They've got to get to the gym. And so this weekend, really focus on what kind of exercise that you enjoy doing, because if you don't enjoy doing your exercise, you won't do it. And get out in nature and connect, because that really helps ground us, keeps us centered after a hard week of work and stress. It's really nice to just decompress into nature and to just see God's beauty. So today we're going to do a really easy salad, and it's not going to take much time, which is really awesome. So you can prepare this meal within a half an hour and be eating and enjoying this great salad. I'm going to do a Seared Ahi Niçoise salad. It's not going to be your traditional Niçoise salad with potatoes, but we're going to add cauliflower as the white on the potato. And as many of you know who are following me or the paleo or the ketogenic, potatoes really aren't part because they're very high carbohydrate, a lot of sugar in them. So we kind of are always saying we don't take anything away without putting something in. And so if we are taking potatoes out of this salad, that should go in, then we're going to add cauliflower, which will give it kind of the same texture and density. So let's go ahead and start by just putting these in the oven. Now this is just as simple as anything. This is a salad for two. Now you can make the salad for as many people as you want, and what I usually do is I put it on separate trays when I go to serve this. So the ahi will be in one tray, the vegetables will be in another tray, and the salad, so people can just pick and choose and make their own design of what they want to do. So I just simply add a little bit of olive oil, just a little drizzle on these. And I'm really not going to add any salt or anything like that, because I'm going to go ahead and correct their seasoning after actually I take them out. So just a little bit of that, and then just kind of give them a little swirl here so that they've got a little coating on each side. Don't need much. Now, of course, you can use absolutely any vegetable. My sister made this last week, and it's so much fun having people around you that really love doing what you love doing when it comes to food and or exercises, because it keeps you motivated and really gets you inspired to do new things. And so this was one of the recipes that she made last week and that we absolutely love. We've done it before many times, but I thought this would be a perfect recipe for the show. Okay, so I just coated those a little bit. Let's see if the oven's almost, we're gonna have the oven at about 450 to 500. So we'll just leave that there for a moment until that oven gets a little hotter. Just make sure all of these are coated. And before they come out of the oven, I am going to do a little spicing on them. With a little bit of salt. I'm going to be actually using several different spices on here. I'm going to use dill for the carrots. I'm going to use a little bit of Chinese spice for the cauliflower, and a little bit of balsamic vinaigrette for the bell pepper. So we're going to leave that over here to the side. Now, I'm going to do green beans, because green beans is a vegetable that is part of the Niçoise salad. And so I'm not going to roast them. I'm going to just steam them ever so lightly. And so we'll do that in just a second as well. Let's go ahead and get started on this fish here. I'm just going to set these over to the side until we're ready for that. Almost ready for that. So this is a two-person meal. Again, honestly, this could be a three-person or four-person, just depending on your appetite level. But this is fresh ahi. Now again, I always tell all patients that ahi is a larger fish, so it has more mercury. So I don't eat it very often, but let's just say once a month should be completely acceptable, twice a month. But I always take an agent to help to bind any mercury that is in this fish, like selenium, 200 to 400 milligrams, or some chlorella, king chlorella, like maybe 4 or 6 tablets. But that really helps to bind any of the mercury. And unfortunately, our oceans are very polluted, and with Fukushima, we can't help, even when they are wild, fish that we're getting some of this toxicity, but we don't want to not enjoy the fish. So we're always buffering it. Just like when we eat meats, we're going to make sure we have a really chlorophyll-rich salad so that we can balance out the amines. Well, same thing when we're having this ahi. We have a little bit of binding agents for the mercury. So I'm going to use this aloha fish spice, and I absolutely love it. You can get it from either on Amazon or at the Aloha Spice Company. It's awesome. I use it so often. I'm just going to just put it right on here because we don't need to dirty more plates. I'm going to put it there because I'm just going to do a rub. I'm going to add some cracked pepper because I just want this to just have a lot of flavor. Now this already has salt in it, but I'm going to add just a little tad more because I found out that last weekend we were adding salt afterwards onto the fish, so I'm going to just go ahead and add it right onto that spice there. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to put just a little bit of coconut spray or olive oil spray, whatever you have on there, just a little teeny bit. Give this a little coat. I may even have to add a little bit more. You want it really coated, so again, you know, be generous with this. Just going to go ahead and set it right on there, and I'll add a little bit of the pepper and salt to it after I've done it. Beautiful. Okay. Add a little bit of pepper because this one didn't get that much on there because I had to use all of that in one. So we're going to leave that there just for a second. I'm going to go ahead and stick those vegetables in the oven. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the green beans in there, and I cut them not into complete juliennes. I just kind of sliced them in half at a diagonal, so they're, you know, a little bit bigger than bite-sized pieces. Now you definitely do not want to overcook these because there's nothing like really rubbery and or too soft green beans. So you want to keep your eye on these. Now what's really beautiful about this salad, it can be a cold salad or it can be warm in regards to the ahi still being warm, so whatever you prefer. It's nice that you can make it ahead of time. You can have your fish and everything all ready to go, and so when your guests are over, you can just enjoy them. We're going to go ahead and make the salad dressing while the vegetables are being roasted. Now today I'm going to do a zesty lemon coconut vinaigrette dressing with a little tarragon on it. And I thought I'd just add that tarragon on it just to give it just a little bit of a twist. And so we're going to go ahead and start out with a large tablespoon of Dijon mustard. So you want to get about a heaping tablespoon of mustard. I use a whole lemon or a half. If it's big, you only want to use a half. This is a little lemon, so I'm just going to use both halves there. Otherwise, you'd want to use approximately half of a larger lemon. Of course, if you get any seeds in there, you want to make sure you get those out. Nobody enjoys biting into a salad with seeds in it. Let's go ahead and get that a little wet. Now, the coconut vinaigrette is just a little sweeter, kind of like the apple cider vinegar. But I don't necessarily want it too sweet. I just want it to complement with kind of the bitterness of the Dijon mustard and the lemon. So I'm going to put approximately about a teaspoon in there. Not much, just enough to give it a little fun flavor. Good. Okay, now let's just go ahead and drizzle in the olive oil. Now, of course, you can't just pour it in there because it will separate. So you have to be pretty gentle with this. want to do this so that it coats the back of the spoon. And again, you could add dill weed to this, you could add oregano to this, you could add basil to this, but today I've just chosen a tarragon for a little bit of this kind of summer weather, and very flavorful, very aromatic. So you can see here it's starting to thicken up. Add a little bit of salt to it and a little bit of black pepper. Now for my patients who have immunity issues, especially cancer, I don't recommend black pepper to them. It's a little bit acidic for them, so again, you could leave that out if that's one of the ingredients that I have suggested you not to have. Just a couple of pinches of some good Celtic salt. Go ahead and taste this. And again, it should just coat the back of the spoon just like that, so it's thick but not terribly thick, so that it goes on really, really nice. So you always are wanting to see what the attack is at the back of the throat, and if it's got too much vinegar, you'll kind of wince. So this is just on the edge, so I'm going to add just a teeny bit more olive oil. But it's almost just absolutely perfect. Okay. So again, you kind of wait to see what happens to the back of your throat. That was perfect. You can feel the strength of it, but then it just kind of really calms back down, and your whole mouth is filled with this beautiful flavor. I'm going to go ahead and add the tarragon. I'm going to put really, this is pretty strong potent in terms that you don't want it to overtake it. I love making creamy dressings out of this because the cream in regards to a raw egg, when I do this, it kind of mellows it out a little bit. So we're going to just put really, I'd say about a half of a teaspoon. And again, this can be prepared the night before. You don't need to do it on the spot, but you can just see how quickly it is to make easy, delicious salad dressing that'll last in your refrigerator for a week. And oftentimes this is one of the things that patients, why they don't eat salads, is because they can't find a dressing that works for them for flavor, for calories, and for healthy ingredients, because we want to have good organic olive oils. All right, that should be absolutely perfect. I don't even think I need to taste it, but I'm going to just have taste on the tarragon. So it's really nice. Just enough tarragon that you can feel the hint of it, but not too much that it's going to overpower it. Okay, excellent. How are we doing with these green beans here? We definitely don't want to overcook them, as I said before. There's nothing worse than rubbery green beans. Well, they just got a few more minutes, maybe 2 at the most. So I'm going to go ahead and, because you can let this ahi rest for a little while. You don't have to, cook it and immediately serve it, because it'll continue to cook. And so again, the beauty about this fish, you want to just sear it so it stays nice and pink, because it will continue to cook. And many of you enjoy sushi, so you can have it just, slightly so that it's more pink than not. It's really nice. So we'll go ahead and let that go there. Now you want to get your pan nice and hot because you want to sear it. And so again, you want to keep the moisture in as much as possible. Okay, I want to make sure these green beans do not go past me. So you can see they're just about there. Still just a teeny bit chewy, so I'm going to leave them in for a second. In fact, I'm just going to turn them off. And then that way they'll just continue to cook. I'm going to actually lift them up off of here so they don't overcook. Perfect. I'm just going to set them right there. Okay, so we're going to get this pan going here, almost hot enough. You don't want to put the ahi on until really when I put a little bit of water on there, it beads up very, very quickly. I took a great spin class this morning, and one of the things for myself that's coming out into the spring is really taking inventory in regards to my own level of fitness. Winter oftentimes is cold, you're not getting outside to get your exercise, so a lot of the bicycle riding that I would do outside, when I go into the gym, I've kind of been doing the normal bicycle until I started doing the spinning bike and found that it was much more difficult, and of course you sweat 3 times as much. So again, it's harder, so oftentimes we don't want to do it just because it is going to push us to the edge. But again, if we're really looking what's that next step that we need to take so that we can really be prepared for summer, get into our bikinis, is we need to start doing things that really challenge us. So what I love about spin classes, they do HIIT training, so fast, slow, fast, slow. So it's not only entertaining because of the music and they're changing the speeds, but you know, you're keeping a watch of your RPM. So there's a lot of things going on, which is really nice because it goes by pretty darn fast. But it's competitive too, because you have all these people in there and they're spinning, and the teacher's telling you a little faster and move up the tension a little bit. So if you haven't tried spinning, and a lot of gyms just have spinning bikes, so you don't even have to do a class if you feel a little intimidated because you've never tried one. Just jump on that bike and you'll see, wow, you can make it as hard or as easy as you'd like to. So I invite you guys all to do some new exercises that you may have not ever done before and realize, wow, this is really a lot of fun. So this says I'm moving forward into my transition from winter. I'll be going and doing some detox, but at the same time, you know, again, as I'm taking inventory, I'm looking at in regards to, you know, how do I want to put my protocol together for the spring. And so again, one of the things that I love doing is a little bit of intermittent fasting. And my sister this morning, she came to the gym and she said, oh, well, I've been fasting since yesterday, 12 o'clock, and I'm going to eat at 12 o'clock, so a 24-hour intermittent fasting. And so she really inspired me, and I thought, why not? Several days a week I could do that, maybe once or twice. And again, you're eating 2 meals, lunch, and you're eating breakfast, and mid-breakfast, late lunch, but no dinner, and you have a good period of time where your body is forcing itself to use fat for fuel. And that's exactly what we want. We want to burn those extra calories and stored fat that we might have accumulated during the winter months and get into our slim fit summer bodies. Okay, so this is pretty hot. I can kind of just fill it with my hands on there. I don't need to add a little beads there. I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of coconut spray on there. Let's go ahead and sear these. So again, this is a treat for me because I don't eat ahi very often because of the fact that of the heavy mercury in here. But at the same time, when it's fresh and it's pink and really wonderful, you know, enjoy it once in a while. It's a perfectly good source of very lean protein. So these look really good. I'm just going to go ahead and take the lid off of these because I don't want them to cook any further. See, I bit into them. They were perfectly tender but still crisp enough. They're going to go beautiful with a salad. Okay, I'm going to take the lid off of that because the salad's going to be semi-cold. So I'm going to actually start to organize this nice tray of vegetables. So when I serve this salad, as I said before, what I just do is I put everything on a plate and I just let everybody do their own thing. I like to put a little bit of olive oil over the top or a little bit of truffle oil. And then again, what's nice is the oils that you don't heat are going to be a lot more bioavailable for you in regards of your hormones, in regards to making good cholesterol that the body needs. We produce 80% of the cholesterol we have. That's how important it is for hormones and also for the receptor sites to be able to communicate as far as the chemical communication with our body and also the foods we eat. So I'm going to go ahead and add just a touch of salt on there, maybe a little bit of pepper, not much. That way everything is just got lots of flavor on it, but we don't overdo it. And then if anybody wants to add to their salt in their food, they can do that. So I'm going to just set that aside. How are we doing over here? We're looking pretty good with this ahi. So you can kind of see here that the center is really nice and pink. It's up maybe like a quarter of an inch in terms of getting a little browner. So I'm going to let that go for a second or two longer, and then I'm going to turn it over. And again, I might just put a little teeny bit of spray on the top here. I'm going to check out my vegetables, so I'll be right back. So we got the vegetables here, and I'm just going to give them a little toss here, a little turn, and I'm going to stick them back in there. So they're just almost there. Awesome. So just turn them over so they get a nice little glaze to them, but not over the top. Now I've cut these bell peppers in quarters, but when I actually am going to arrange them on the tray, I'm going to cut them into smaller pieces. But this is a good way to grill them. I'm going to add a little bit of spray here. Again, if your vegetables seemed a little dry, you can go ahead and add a little bit of coconut or a little bit of olive oil spray to them. I'm also going to go ahead and start adding a little bit of herbs to these as well. Okay, so about a quarter of the way it is nice and kind of a brown color. I'm going to go ahead and flip these. Perfect. So I'll go ahead and add a little teeny bit of dill onto the carrots. And I'm going to add a little Chinese 5-spice to the cauliflower. See how quick this is going to be to make? It's absolutely going to be time efficient. So when you come home from work and you feel tired, just throw whatever you have in the refrigerator, all your vegetables, and put them on a roasting tray and stick them in there. So these are just about ready. I'm going to just stick those in for a few minutes more. And when this fish is ready, we are done. Are you making sure? So let's have a look here and get my husband over there, who is the expert at cooking fish here. Hey babe, what do you think? Leave it a second or two longer? Yeah. Okay. So let's get this salad ready. Now again, a lot of times what I just do is I will put the dressing on, I'll put the salad on the table. Everybody can kind of divvy up what they like to have. I'm going to put a little bit of fennel in the salad. I love fennel. So again, we have so many vegetables. We don't need to add cucumber and tomatoes and everything.
Your left is done.
Okay. So again, you want to just pay attention to your fish. If one's a little thicker than the other, maybe take it off. You can see how it's really nice and pink in the center there. But again, it will continue to cook, so don't let it overdo it. All right, excellent. I set that there. So we want to just kind of let it sit for a little while because I want to slice it so that when I present it either on the plate or on a tray, that it's very easy for people to utilize that. So let's just go ahead and give this a little toss. We've got our salad dressing ready to go. So I'll just leave that there. I'm going to go ahead and take those vegetables out because I think they are absolutely done. There you go. Beautiful. I love it. It's just so many colors. So again, how could you not feel completely satisfied when you've got all these fabulous colors with all of these wonderful antioxidants and just beautiful. So I'm going to take the bell pepper and I'm going to cut them into smaller slices. Make it really easy for your guests to eat and or your family so they don't have to do, you know, too much cutting and chopping. So they're really easy when you make them into bite-sized pieces and or slices that are easy for them to just plop into their mouth and enjoy. So I'm going to basically cut these into a little bit of julienne pieces. Now you can see why I didn't cut these into julienne pieces to start out with, because they wouldn't be that easy to flip and get grilled. So this way it makes it really perfect. Got the best of both worlds here. And it's nice, again, I try to throw in as many colors as possible I love that whole mindset of the rainbow diet because you know you're not only being satisfied in regards to the look of everything and the flavor, but also you are supporting all of your emotional organ systems when you've got each color of the chakras, which are great. So we've got red here, which is the first chakra, yellow, which is the second chakra, and then we have orange, which is the third. Let me go ahead and take that fish off. Okay. Turn that off. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this into color coordinated here. So we'll put a little bit of the carrots here. Now again, carrots are a little higher in glucose, so for 2 people, I put 3 carrots there, so about 1.5 carrot per person. And so that's probably about 10 carbohydrates. So not much. So this salad is very ketogenic, very low carb. If you're on a diet, if you have cancer, and you have to keep a very low profile with your glucose, this is absolutely perfect. Then let's put these gorgeous little bell peppers here. We can put yellow on one side and beautiful reds on the other. And what's nice is if you grilled extra vegetables, you can chop them up and put them in your salad tomorrow. So whenever I grill, I make enough so that I'll have some for lunch tomorrow, so I can just enjoy my salad. I'm the envy at work from everybody because I always have this wonderful leftovers from work, and everybody's, oh, what did you bring today? And so again, inspire the people that you work with and bring in wonderful, beautiful food. Okay, just put what fits on the tray there. Set this aside. So isn't this beautiful? I mean, this is gorgeous and it presents so well, so easy, and you could have a beautiful party, people over for dinner, and you've got lots of color and beauty there. I'm gonna go ahead and toss the salad, because then again, if you wanna put them on individual plates and have them do their own salad, is great too, but a lot of times I find it easier just to toss the lettuce and then arrange everything else on there. I need one more plate. Okay. So let's take this ahi and let's cut it into nice slices. What did I do with my nice little knife? Things hide from me in this kitchen. Let's see. Oh, here we are. Okay. So let's go ahead and slice this. So again, it could be a warm salad. It could, and look at how beautiful that is. It's just perfect, the color that you want it, right? And that nice little pink in the center. Done enough, but not overdone. So again, you know, depending on the thickness, I usually like it maybe 1/4 of an inch thick. Not too, it's not sushi, so we don't need it super thin, but that's perfect. Okay. So again, if we just lay this very nicely on here, it'll look gorgeous. Your guests will think you've been cooking all day. It looks beautiful. My husband says, oh, you call everything beautiful when you're cooking. And I go, well, because to me it is a beauty. It's a beauty to have such wonderful foods that you can choose from in regards to the access, wonderful organic foods that we can have, and also to be able to have inspiration to be able to put it all together. Okay. Let's just top it off with some capers. And then of course you can't have a Niçoise salad without Kalamata olives. So again, I'm just going to put them over here on the side. So if I were serving this for guests, I would just put everything on one plate. It looks beautiful. Okay, put a little salad dressing on there now. And then of course the salad dressing, as I said before, it just stores super well. And again, in our house, we do lots and lots of salads. So when we make this salad dressing, we make it enough for 4 or 5 days, because it's no fun having to make it every single morning when you're in a hurry and trying to get to work. Okay. Perfect. So again, that's exactly how I would present it. I would present it just like this onto the table. I would have the pepper by their side. I'm going to actually just go ahead and just add a little dash to it there. Add the pepper on the table, a little salt if people want to add a little bit more. And then if I were serving these and plating them, I just put the salad in the center. So you see me here. And then of course, just whatever anybody would like to have. And so again, it's low carbohydrates. And people, oh, can you eat carrots? Sure, you can eat carrots. Carrots are wonderful, high level of beta carotene in there. But of course, we're just not having, you know, 4 carrots each. We're having 1.5 carrots each. So it makes it really nice. Okay, and then let's add this nice cauliflower that could be a potato in people's mind in terms of the color and also the density of it. Then some of this beautiful, there I go with the beautiful word, bell pepper. Excellent. Throw some Kalamata olives in there, here and there. And then again, the ahi. Perfect. Then just a teeny drizzle of the salad dressing on top of that. There we go. Now look at that. Isn't that fantastic? And how short of a time was it from the time we started until we're ready to eat? So honestly, eating healthy is not only a joy because you know that you are giving your family and yourself the highest nutrition that you possibly can. We're all about anti-aging. We're all about prevention. And so it starts right here. I always tell my patients the cure is in the kitchen. So let's have a taste of this. This looks fantastic. Okay. My fork here. Let's see how we go. So nice. That ahi just is so delicate and beautiful. And like I said, you don't even need a knife with this. Let's go. Perfect. Very spicy. That little extra pepper I put on there gave it a really bold flavor. Absolutely fantastic. Well, we are going to have a fantastic dinner tonight. And I hope this has inspired you to go and make this fantastic salad, to look at the other videos I have done. Thank you for sharing them with your friends. And again, for those people who are interested in a nutritional consultation with me, just send me a little link, a little message, and I'm happy to give you a call. We can talk about your health. I can do a phone consult for you over the phone. If you live in Orange County, you can come to the Center for New Medicine. I specialize in many, many things, so I'm a very well-rounded, excuse me, robust in how we really look at health. We look at treating the whole person. So don't forget to share this video with others that you would know would enjoy it. And if you want to subscribe so that you could get a little flash that we're going live, I'd love to have you do that. And absolutely have a wonderful day and enjoy this fantastic weekend. And I'll see you out on the hiking trail.